In this video, you are going to watch Barlay, who went from $0 to $13.8 thousand in a single 30-day period in commissions as an appointment setter. Yes, an appointment setter. That's more than what most remote closers make in 2026. And how he was able to do it is he used the exact same strategies, systems, and principles that I teach inside of Closers Cult. Now, I'm not gonna make this a pitch fest because this is about Barlay and this is about his story on how he did door-to-door sales, ran an agency, charity sales, and eventually broke into remote high-ticket sales after working with me. So without further ado, enjoy the podcast.
What is your name and how much did you make in commissions last month?
My name is Barlay and last month I made $13.8 thousand.
Beautiful. Now, it didn't start off like that. So today I want to give everyone who's listening just like a full rundown of where you started, how you got to that point, what you had to learn, troubles, tribulations, everything like that. But bring us back to the start because you're 26 now,
Yeah.
right? So younger Barlay, you finished school. What happens from there? Did you go to university? Did you get a trade? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, when I finished high school, I went straight to university because it was the only path that I actually knew.
Yeah.
Like growing up in the Asian household, you're not presented with any other options.
What were you studying?
I did computer science.
Okay. And so you finished that degree?
Yeah, so I finished it. I ended up getting a job in software engineering as well. Did that for a little bit. And then at that point, I decided it wasn't what I wanted to do. And out of all the things I would do, I decided to go back to uni again. This time studying maths.
Oh, in typical Asian fashion.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you finished the degree in that. Then
Yeah.
did you finish the maths degree as well?
No, so I dropped out of the maths degree.
Okay.
What happened was I was doing the maths, and then during that time, I ended up stumbling across a face-to-face sales job. And so I did that for a few months.
Okay.
And it was during there where I sort of discovered a different world that was outside of the typical 9 to 5, the go get a high six-figure job,
Right.
the
So
pathway.
what was the sales job?
It was a charity job.
Okay, so like in the shopping malls?
Yeah, in the shopping malls, you're waving at people,
Okay.
telling them to come over and trying to pitch them on a $39 a month for 2 years
Yeah.
program.
And when you started that, like, I mean, you're face to face, you're doing a lot of volume, you're getting a lot of rejection. Like,
Yeah.
was that easy for you? Did that come naturally?
No, I think I was really bad at it when I first started. But one thing that I did do was I just kept at it for a while. And naturally over time, you just get better with things.
So how long did you spend doing the charity sales?
So I first did that for 6 months. Very, very hard 6 months, honestly.
Okay.
Like doing charity sales, it's one of the most energy draining things I've ever done.
In what sense?
Because you're out there, what we call is in the field. You're in the field for 10, 12 hours a day, waving at people, getting told to fuck off. People being like, nah. And then really performance driven as well. You had to go make 2-3 sales a day or else you're on the chopping block.
And how much were you actually making from the charity sales?
1,000 a week.
Okay. So like
Yeah.
$4,000 a month, 10, 12-hour days.
Yeah, 10, 12 hour days. And then you have to go on like road trips as well.
Okay.
So every few weeks you would have to go travel, and they put it as a benefit. But realistically what it meant was you were just uprooting your entire life for a whole week to go to some rural town in Australia
Right.
to sell to a new audience.
And it was at the shopping centres, right?
Yeah, it was at shopping centres or in front of like supermarkets.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did that for 6 months. And then when did you find out about remote high ticket sales?
So I actually found out about it pretty much a bit after that. But what I ended up doing was I got dragged into the SMMA stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
How'd you get dragged into that?
So I found Iman Gaji online,
Yeah.
got sold by his VSL
Yeah.
very, very well. And then I was like, yeah, fuck it. It sounds so easy. I'm going to go start a marketing agency.
True. So when was this?
This would have been 2022.
Okay. So a few years back.
Yeah, end of 2022.
And did you know about remote sales at that time or you just knew the agency?
It was during the agency work that I found out about remote sales.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So how long did you run the agency for?
I ran it for about 6 months. Barely made any money.
Okay.
I think my biggest month was a 2K month.
And what were you offering? Ads?
I was offering ads, yeah. Facebook ads to random people.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of people were you working with?
So I worked with a PT, I worked with a makeup artist, and I worked with a therapist.
Okay. So just like anyone you could get, basically.
It was a shit show. Yeah.
Okay. So you ran that for longer than 6 months, or you?
No.
So what happened after 6 months?
So after that point, I just got sick and tired of it. I was like, this isn't working. It wasn't necessarily that it wasn't working. It was that I wasn't working with it. So it wasn't really making sense for me to keep running it, because in a sense, when it comes to this online money stuff, what I find is that the business model works if you put the work in. But I just couldn't get myself to put the work in.
Why do you think that was?
Misaligned expectations. Like when you start off the online money stuff, you're often sold the dream. You're like, hey, just do this, work a few hours a day, you're going to make 10K per month. Okay, so I'll sit there, I'll work 2-3 hours a day, and then be like, done my work, time to go fucking play League of Legends.
So were you still like living with your family at the time?
No, so I moved out to Sydney.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just like game outside of the agency?
Yeah, I became a League of Legends addict for a solid 4 months during the time when I was running the agency.
True. So
Yeah.
for you it was League of Legends, for me it was FIFA. But, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then after the 6 months, you stopped running the agency, then what did you start?
Yeah, so I stopped running the agency, and I was like, I'm just going to get a job.
Okay.
And naturally, I didn't want to go back into tech, because at that point, I was like, okay, I'd been awakened to getting out of the 9-to-5 path. But I was like thinking, okay, what's the actual skill set I want to do? Okay, it's sales. Because if I do sales, then in the future, if I want to run a business, it's the most important skill to get to that point.
And when you say, before we go into like the job you got after that, when you say you like woke up that you didn't want to do a 9-to-5 and the grind and all that, like how did you know that you didn't want to do that? Because you didn't actually work. You didn't really work a 9-to-5.
I did for a bit.
Okay.
But this was like my first... it's my first part where I was like, hey, I want to do something a bit different to what I did in uni. And it was... My idea was still I was eventually going to like go back to running the agency or something. I think that's what I was thinking. So I was like, okay, in the meantime, let's go get some sales skills first.
Okay. And that's where the charity sales... And then what was the next job you got after
And
the
the
agency?
next one was tech sales.
Oh, true.
Yes.
So this
So
is like B2B.
Yeah.
Did you go into an office?
Yes. So that was a proper 9-to-5.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you like an SDR, an account executive?
Yeah. I was an SDR there. So just cold calling businesses, doing like 50, 60 cold calls a day.
And what were you selling?
Selling some marketing software.
Okay. And like what were you getting paid for that?
I was making, it was roughly a 70K base with like a 20K bonus if you hit quota. But I hit quota probably a third of the time I was actually there.
Okay. So what, like mainly the base then?
Yeah, it was mainly the base.
So like 7-ish grand a month.
Yeah, 6-7 grand. Take home was a bit under 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was, what kind of hours were you doing?
That was 9-to-5.
And then was the commute long?
Yep, 1 hour commute a day.
There and back. Yeah, because in Sydney
Yeah.
the traffic's
Sydney
pretty...
was not the place to be.
Yeah. And how long did you do that for?
I did that for 9 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like 2022?
2023.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you were actually working that for the 9 months, like what were you experiencing day to day that was like different to remote sales? Like going into an office, that sort of environment,
Yeah.
compared to maybe the more entrepreneurial side or whatever you want to call it of like remote high ticket sales.
Yeah. I think the big thing is the standards. The standards there at the face-to-face, or not the face, in the office, is everyone's still very much an employee. And naturally, like, I'm not going to say I was amazing and I was a top performer or anything, because in some way I let myself drop to the standard of everyone else around me. And that just meant slacking off.
Why do you think that was?
A big part of it was just not taking it as seriously as we could be. The other part was just the training and development there just wasn't up to par compared to something like high ticket sales.
Did you find, I heard this from other people that have had a similar background, did you find that like it's a lot more common for people to just settle and just
Yeah.
like get by?
Yeah.
Like once you got a base, you're not as incentivized.
Yeah.
Like you got enough, so you don't really push further.
Yeah, exactly. One of my big realizations was I got in there and they pretty much hand you a script. And you're like, okay, here's the script. And then you call people up, you just say the script. Okay, 2 days of training, max. And then I remember making my first few calls and then listening to the guy next to me who had been there for over a year. And I just noticed how he sounded exactly like me. Our calls were like barely distinguishable. And so I was just thinking, if these guys have been here for a whole year and they still are at this level, like what development is there actually here? And that was part of me that got a bit jaded.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then once you realize that, 9 months pass in tech sales, then what?
Then I was like, the company went through a lot of problems. They got acquired, and then I just decided, I was like, fuck, I'm going to leave. So I just left, and this was when I jumped back into charity sales.
Okay.
Yeah. So I left, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do. In the meantime, I know this job is always going to be hiring because charity is the biggest churning industry in the world.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but there's a lot of like personal development that goes through when you go through charity. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to jump back in for a few months. And during that time, I just kept getting sick. Like every single day, we'll go to like road trips. Every few weeks, we'll go on road trips. During the road trips, I'll just be getting sick. And that just meant my actual days out working was just way lower than they could.
What kind of sick? Like a fever or?
I was just getting colds, having a cough. And that's, I think a part of it was like obviously my own immune system, but also it was just the nature of the work.
Because like the long hours.
Yeah, your long hours, you're out in the cold, you're out there for 12 hours a day. You have to be really, really dialed if you want to do well in charity sales. Yeah.
So how long did that go on for?
That went on for another 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then is that around the time you found about high ticket?
No, that's when I started doing copywriting.
Oh shit! Okay, you've been around the block.
Yes, I've been everywhere.
So how did you find out about copywriting?
On YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just watching gurus.
Did you join a course?
I did join a course.
Whose did you join?
I joined a guy called KJ.
KJ, interesting. I don't know.
He's like some American guy.
Okay.
I have to like admit his course is really good.
Okay.
But at the same time, it was just me not making it work again. Because at this time, what happened was I ended up coming to Thailand. So this was been exactly a year ago, where I was in Samui, and I came to Samui and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make money online. I'm gonna do copywriting full time and make money online and travel the world.
Yeah.
That was the idea.
Must be pretty nostalgic now that you're here a year later, but you've actually made it work.
Yeah, I've actually made it work.
That's
I remember literally a year ago, I made a goal. I wrote it down. It says, okay, I'm going to make 12K a month online from copywriting.
True.
That was what I wrote down.
Yeah.
And then, for the first few months when I was doing copywriting, like I didn't get anywhere. I ended up expanding my offer. So I started building Shopify stores for a few people.
Okay.
That became a mess. And then eventually in Thailand, I had a few problems with my bank. So I had to go back to Australia for a little bit. And so I ended up going back to Australia, just living at home. And at that point, I was like, I'm fucking done with copywriting. And then naturally what happens is you start looking at sort of the easy option on what to do. And I was like, okay, I'm going to look for a job.
So why did you decide you were done with copywriting?
A big part of it was the same thing of I couldn't get myself to do the work. I could work for 2-3 hours a day, and that's it. And then I would just slack off and fuck around.
Why do you think you weren't able to do it with copywriting, but you were with sales?
I think with sales, it's the closest thing to a job that isn't a job in the online money space. In copywriting, you have to be in charge of sales, fulfillment, of customer management, expectations. You have to source the leads yourself. You have to do everything.
Same with an agency too.
Yeah, exactly. You have to do the entire full stack fulfillment. And like for me as a person at that point, I wasn't up to that level yet.
Okay, so you get home to Australia. This was what, earlier this year? I'm
this
guessing?
would have been May.
May this year.
Yeah, May this
and
year.
that's pretty much when we spoke. We
spoke
what?
in June, late June.
Late June. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, did you already know about high ticket sales at that point?
I knew about it.
You just didn't like delve.
Yeah, I didn't go into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so you're looking on YouTube. I'm guessing you probably saw a few gurus like me.
No, it wasn't actually.
Okay.
What actually happened was I was like, okay, I'm fucking done with copywriting.
Yeah.
Let me just go get another sales job.
Okay.
But what happened was I landed the sales job as a closer. And it was for like a maths tutoring company because I've got a background in maths and a background in computer science. And I've done tutoring in the past.
Yeah.
So they were just like, oh yeah, just come aboard.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. We'll sort you out. And so I just joined, took one call, and I was like, I am cooked. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
By the way, if you guys are listening and you're wondering how you can learn more about Closers Cult and how you can actually make 10, 15, 20K a month from remote sales, then just click the link in the description. There's going to be more information there. Anyway, back to the pod. Because how much was the maths tutoring program?
It was 2.5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. There's literally coaching for anything nowadays.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm actually coaching another maths tutor at the moment that helps people get into Oxford and Cambridge.
Yep.
And he's got a high ticket offer too, but
Yeah.
it's wild. The education system's just like changing so much.
I think something like that, there would be a lot, because you're selling an outcome, a bigger outcome.
Yeah.
So I think the sale could be a bit more easier.
It's very interesting because like most of the time it's the parent objection, but like there's so much when you're selling to the parents, it's like status and you know, status of going to Cambridge and Oxford and having your son represent the family, and it's like you can go deeper on that level, which is cool. So how long did you do the maths tutoring offer before you, I guess, found me?
Literally, I took my first call.
Okay.
And then I signed up and then I took my first call. I was like, I'm cooked. Started looking for gurus online. Found a few. Took a few of their sales calls as well.
Yeah.
And then literally I remember when I booked one of their calls, I think I saw your ad. And then I started clicking through your stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I'm going to watch his sales call. He knows what he's doing. Binged most of your content. I was like, you know what, this guy's in Australia. He knows what he's doing. I might as well just sign up.
It's funny because I was barely running ads at that point. We were like just trialing. And then we stopped for like 3 months after that.
Yeah.
Now we're running them again. But
Yeah.
that's interesting you came from one of those. And we won't say the name, but you mentioned you had a sales call with someone else.
Yeah.
And you told me this on our sales call that they like DQ'd you.
Yeah.
Like, what happened there?
Yeah, so I jumped on and then I told them I had someone else, like I booked the call with someone else as well.
Yeah.
And then straight away, he pretty much just sent me a free resource and was like, all right, I'll rebook you in for after that call.
Why do you think he didn't like pitch you?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to have that last say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't get another say though.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't show up to the follow-up.
So when you were like binging my content, like what did you see, maybe for someone that's like newer to the channel or whatever, like what did you see that you're like, all right, Orlando, Closers Cult, like that's something I want to look into more?
Yeah. One thing was, I was Australian, like seeing other guys in Australia do well. I was like, okay, makes sense to join someone that's Australian. Like I've joined all these American communities in the past and my participation has been lacking there. The other one was just seeing you were good at what you did. Like I remember seeing you sell a program you never sold before live on a podcast.
Oscars.
I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He knows what's up. And then I also watched a few of your coaching calls and seeing how you were actually training the people inside the cult. And I was like, hey, I can see myself doing that.
Interesting.
I can see myself getting help there.
Yeah. Okay. And then we jumped on our call. I mean, I feel like you were pretty easy to buy. You didn't give me any objections.
No, I didn't.
How did you find the sales call like with me? Like
you still cooked me up pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like I was going to buy, but at the same time, you cooked me up pretty hard.
How did I cook? I don't actually remember.
I remember there was one point where you were like, are you ready to change? Like, are you actually ready to make a step forward? And I was like, yeah, I am. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Give me the payment link. Let me send it to you now.
Yeah. That's sick. Okay. And then, so you joined Closers Cult. It's not the first time you've invested into yourself.
Yeah.
Every other time, didn't put in the effort required to win. Yeah. One thing that I'm noticing from the journey though is you started the online money or whatever in 2022.
Yeah.
And we're in end of 2025 now.
Yeah.
Which is 3 years.
Yeah.
And you just never fucking gave up. Which is why so many people don't win.
Yeah.
They'll try a business model. Oh, it doesn't work. Online money's not for me. Try a second one. Oh, it's not for me. Third one. Oh, it's not for me. And then they just give up. But you just had the mentality where you're like, I'm just going to keep trying until it fucking works.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got there now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So you joined Closers Cult. What does like the first month, 2 months look like as you're getting into the coaching calls? What did you notice? What did you start learning as soon as you joined?
Yeah, the first month was just jumping on and sort of throwing myself in the deep end of just practicing. So I remember jumping on and the first call I ever did, you made me do a role play. And I was like, I had no fucking idea what I was doing. I just read the script like word for word. And it was good practice though. It was good practice. But yeah, the first part was jumping on, networking with a lot of the guys. I remember one thing I did was I just reached out to a lot of people. and I started jumping on calls with people. There were a few guys that I was constantly doing role plays with every single week. And yeah, naturally just made basic progress from doing that.
Who were the guys you were role playing with?
I role played a lot with Ollie.
Oh yeah.
Ollie Emberson, Dane,
Yeah.
Kerr.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few of the boys.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you learned the script pretty quickly from memory. Because I remember then reviewing some of your maths tutoring calls.
Yeah.
And it was like within the first few weeks, I feel like, or month,
Yeah.
it was pretty dialed where I was like, okay, process wise, he's got it down.
Yeah.
What did it actually take for you to do that? Was that just like you memorizing the script? Like, how did you actually learn and develop?
Yeah, it was just practice through reps. Like, I don't think there's a secret sauce. And here's one thing. I don't feel like I worked that hard for it. Like, I genuinely didn't put that much effort into it. But it's, yeah, just doing the reps every single day. And having the community to keep you accountable. And, like, knowing that I paid a good chunk of money to join the program. I was like, yeah, I fucking have to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one way to keep yourself accountable.
Exactly, yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, like to push back on that, like you did invest in other programs before, but you didn't stay accountable.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think was the difference with this one?
I think that this one was the community aspect. Yeah. It was just getting on the calls with the other boys and us all just being like, oh yeah, we're in the trenches now, but we're going to fucking make it work.
Did you not have a community with the other ones?
I did, but they were all like Americans. Yeah, and never were really like with people in Australia, with the locals, with people that were in my same time zone.
Yeah.
That you can hit up whenever you want.
Also, probably other guys in Sydney. I mean, now we've got more in Sydney than before, but
Yeah.
Interesting. So, the first few months in remote high ticket sales, because I like to be super transparent because people see like, oh, 10K in 4 months or this, and they see these big numbers, but I always like to set the expectation. Time can take time.
Yeah.
Like Storm, it took him over a year to his first 15K month. You know, then you got guys like Ellis that do it in 6.
Yeah.
Then you got, you know, guys like Sam that do it in 4 to 5 of actual sales. So like the timeline can vary. What did your first like month, second month, third month look like income wise?
My first month in July was 1.5K.
Total. Shit.
Yeah, 1.5K. Second month, August, I made 2.7. And then third month, I made 8.
Damn.
Yeah.
What led to the jump in the third month?
Just change an opportunity. Yeah. The big one was just getting onto that, the offer.
Yeah.
The big offer, which you linked me through.
Yeah.
It was like, I already had a bit of the skill set and work ethic built up from the last two months.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of the opportunity.
Yeah. So the third month, is that the real estate one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So you jump on, and could you just describe the role you're actually doing in the mass tutoring? Because you were closing on that.
Yeah.
And then maybe the role that you had with the real estate company.
Yeah. So on maths tutoring, I was closing and setting actually. So the company would bring in leads. I would call them up, set them on my calendar, and then try close the parents on maths tutoring deals.
And what sort of objections did you get?
It was, the big thing about that offer was it always felt like it was a value objection. Yeah. It was very hard for me to build a big enough gap to help the parents justify maths tutoring for 2.5K.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Especially because like it's such a, I guess like saturated field. There's so many tutors you can get at like $50 an hour.
Exactly. So I'd have parents that come in, discovery goes amazing. They're telling me all the reasons they need to do it now.
Yeah.
Get to the call, end of the call, and then they just completely backflip.
Yeah.
And it's like the objection handling that we trained for. I couldn't even use it because they're just not making sense.
They just combust.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, I'm kind of done with this. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you get on the third month, and what was the difference in terms of the role with the real estate company?
which is one of the biggest companies in Australia in terms of the team was dialed, the marketing was dialed, the role, like expectations was lined out, it was outlined very well for me in terms of what I needed to do and what needed to get done. And I just saw opportunity there. Yeah.
What do you mean you saw the opportunity? Why, like, because some people don't know the difference between a good and a bad offer. Why was that offer you saw potential compared to the other one?
One thing was when I had the interview with the growth operator, he showed me all the numbers. And from the numbers, the way that it aligned, like the way that the numbers they're actually bringing in at that stage, I was like, I can see myself hitting 10K per month in this offer, doing that role as a I was an outbound triager.
And when you say you saw the numbers, you're talking like monthly cash collected,
Yeah.
commissions the other team was getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay structure, nice.
Yeah.
And how did you actually find out about that company?
You linked me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You connected me.
Okay, true. I forget. So I actually didn't even realize I introed you to that. I thought it was Ellis or something.
No, you introed me.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
So you got introed to that. How was the interview? Did you like have to prove
No,
yourself?
it was pretty chill.
Okay.
Yeah. He pretty much said, you want it? I was like, yeah. I'll do it.
Okay, nice. So it wasn't like this big thing
No.
where you had to interview and ask all these questions.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's pretty good. So then first month, in terms of hours, what sort of hours were we working to hit 8K in that third month?
I think my hours was quite high actually. Especially with my role, especially in the mornings, it was from like 8:30 to 12:30. I would be working pretty hard, like just on the phones non-stop.
8:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m.
12:30. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And in the afternoon, there'll be a bit of dead time for me to chill out a bit. And then towards the end of the day, between 5 to 7, I would be on the phones again.
It's kind of funny because like you say that was hard work, but that's like 7 hours a day compared to like 10, 12-hour days
Oh, yeah.
in charity or
Yeah.
like 8-hour days and 9 to 5.
It's nothing compared to the charity work.
Yeah,
like
but
the charity work was fucked.
It's wild though, because like our perception of like hard work in high ticket sales is like 7-8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, that's like normal jobs.
yeah.
Okay, so then that was month 3. What actual month was that in the calendar year?
That would have
Month
been
3?
September.
September. Okay, because we're in December. So September you hit 8K. What'd you hit October and November?
Yep. So September, 8K. That was across 2 offers. I was still in the maths tutoring as well. So maths tutoring plus the real estate. And then
What was the split?
it was about 7K in the real estate and then 1K with maths tutoring.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That really shows the difference in the offer.
Yeah, the offer makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
But also like the time spent on each of them as well.
Yeah.
Was different. And then in October, I went all in on the real estate offer. And I made 12K.
Damn.
Yeah.
So so you joined in June,
Yeah.
end of June,
Yeah.
joined end of June, and then September, 12K.
October, 12K.
October, 12K.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So what's that? 6 months? June, July, August, September, October. 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months roughly.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so 12K in October, and then last month you hit 13.8, you said?
Yeah, last month was 13.8. Yeah.
Shit.
So
And what do your parents think about all this?
they really have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I remember when I first started the online money stuff, they were really angry. At least my dad was. We got into like big arguments about it.
What were they angry about?
Just me forsaking my computer science background, and because I specialized in AI, and they're like, oh yeah, AI is going to be the future. Yeah, you're throwing away all your years of study. But I knew it wasn't the path I wanted to go down. So, but it reached a point where I've just been doing my own thing. They kind of just have no idea what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah. So they still don't know to this day?
They don't know exactly what I do.
Yeah.
They just know I do online business stuff.
Yeah.
So they're always calling me businessman. It's a bit annoying, but it is how it is.
That's just families. So mine took like 4 years to understand because like also I wasn't able to explain it properly. It was only like last Christmas, I gave him my heart, and the very next day, no, I'm just kidding. Last Christmas, like I was actually able to explain it in a way that made sense because I just dumbed it down. And so, okay, so making like 13.8K, you're traveling the world, you're here in Koh Samui.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cheap to live here.
Yeah.
Like, what have you noticed that money compared to like 1K months or 2K months? What does that actually like change for you?
The big thing it changes is just not really having to care so much about money now. Because last time I remember when I was in Thailand a year ago, when I wasn't making any money, I was penny pinching. I was being one of those cheap foreigners. Right? Like I'd go to all the cheapest places to eat. I'd book the cheapest accommodation. It just, I think the mindset and the way you see yourself is the biggest thing that changed.
Now you're just spending it all.
Not quite.
I get what you mean though. You just don't check as much.
Yeah.
I've definitely reached that point in the last few years where it's like, especially when you're in a place like Thailand or Vietnam or even Barlay, like I just don't check the price anymore when I'm eating at dinner.
Yeah.
And it actually is a really freeing feeling because no matter what it is, you know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember a time where Like I had to get $20 loaned to me from a friend. Or hey bro, can you spot me on this? I'll have to pay you next week when I get paid.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a good feeling.
It isn't.
Have you ever had any experiences like that?
I don't think I've ever had to ask people for money like that.
Yeah.
But it's been where I've just been, money has been the thing holding me back from experiences.
What sort of experiences did it hold you back from?
Just from going out to eat with friends. Like when I was in Sydney, I was a cheap ass. I was a very cheap ass. Like I would never go out and eat with my friends. I would just be sitting at home eating my meal prep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Sydney's not cheap, so.
Yeah.
So another thing I want to touch on, to hit the 13.8K, like what sort of hours were you doing in November? Like what did an average day look like to make that sort of money?
Pretty similar to in September, from 8:30 to 12:30, like working pretty hard. And then afternoon, maybe a bit less, maybe take a few closing calls, and then another 2-3 hours at night.
And when you say that role, you're an inbound triager.
Outbound.
Outbound triager. Just to dumb it down for people that are like brand new to sales, that don't know any of this lingo. Like, what does that actually mean? Yeah.
So the idea is when a lead books in, some leads book in through a lead form. Some leads they book in directly, right? So they actually book into the calendar. And so my job was to take anyone that actually booked into the calendar and to make sure that they're a real person, take them through a bit of a process, and make sure that they're qualified and ready to actually take the sales call.
Right. So it's not really like outbound appointment setting where you're running a full discovery.
No.
It's because they've already booked a call. They've already shown intent.
Yeah.
You're just basically like dotting the I's and crossing the T's to just make sure that it's actually like they're ready to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not too difficult, I feel like.
I feel like I got a bit lucky. It's probably the chillest way anyone can make money.
Yeah. I mean, you like, yes, in a sense, but also you put yourself in a position to be lucky, right? Most people would have given up after 2 years, 3 years of trying online money. Most people wouldn't have invested, or maybe not most, but a lot of people wouldn't have invested the sort of money you invest into yourself, not once, not twice, but 3 times to actually fucking get to where you want to be. So like, yes, you can say that is luck, but also there's such an element of you putting yourself in a position to be lucky as well.
Yeah, it's a good perspective actually. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's hard to like take credit sometimes. I'm the same way. People are like, dude, you're doing such a good job. And my natural response is to always just deflect it. But it is true. Like you did put yourself in that position. Even with the networking and like, did you know, because I remember for this company in particular, their manager reached out to me because they were doing like a full reset of their sales team. They had a really good sales team, got them to a certain point, bit of a switch up in like the team and the energy, and then they just moved them on and they built from scratch. And I remember they came to me and they're like, hey, we need like young, hungry guys. And I'm guessing that's when I would have introed you, because I introed a few others as well. Were you like part of that new team, or were there already people on the team?
I was part of the new intake pretty much.
Oh, nice. That's powerful. Cool. Okay. And so like looking at the high ticket sales space right now, after you've been in it since May-ish, June-ish, what are you noticing is the difference between like a 13K per month high ticket sales rep compared to someone that is stuck at those 3, 4, 5K months?
I think the two things is your skill set and the opportunity you're in. And I'll put the opportunity higher than your skill set actually. Yeah.
I'd agree. I think you can be the best closer in the world and you can make an opportunity great. But you are fighting an uphill battle compared to just jumping on a great offer.
Exactly. And with a great offer, they're going to give you the development to make you better at your skill set even better.
By the way, if you guys are listening and you're wondering how you can learn more about Closers Cult and how you can actually make 10, 15, 20K a month from remote sales, then just click the link in the description. There's going to be more information there. Anyway, back to the pod. And if you were starting out today, like let's say you had no connections, you had no experience, how would you go about finding a high ticket sales role that's actually a good offer?
Honestly, I think the only way is to join a paid community.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you say
Otherwise,
that?
it's by far the easiest way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm biased, I agree. But like, I think there are other ways, like, but most of it comes down to a network. Like, even if you're not in a paid community, you do need people that are in the space, because it's not a case where you can just message people on Instagram. Like, hey bro, you opposed to hiring a certified closer? Like, no, we all hate those messages. Do not send that to me or anyone, please. about being referred, like whether it's through a mentor, whether it's through a friend, someone
Yeah.
at the company. That's really the way that I preach, is like get referred to the company so you don't have to fight this uphill battle. Because
Yeah.
like you said, if you're getting referred, the interview process is so much easier.
Interview was so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they have that trust anyway.
Yeah. It's like an inbound lead.
Exactly. And you know what to do if you've gone through some of the training as well.
Yeah. And in terms of like sales skills, being in closes cold and coming to the trainings, what are some tactical things that you've learned? Whether it's a set process, a close call process, just overall sales skills. Like what skills would you say you've actually learned?
So in terms of the sales skills, there's many. The one, probably the most standard and most important one to begin with, is always like, how do you find pain from people? Or how do you find a problem? Because if without a problem, you can't really make a sale. And so that was a big focus for the first few months, was just figuring out how to actually find pain. Because you need it for set calls, you need it for close calls. And yeah, just knowing, okay, if people give you this bullshit answers, like how can you turn that and just flip it back on them and be like, okay, but what are you actually looking for? What's actually going on here?
So it's really just like knowing when to probe at the right times.
Yeah.
And what to probe on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, even with the script, right? Like I've given a script, I've given you a structure, but it's like that'll only take you so far.
Oh, yeah.
It's like knowing what answers are you looking for. Do you get that answer?
Yeah.
If not, how do you like come back and re-ask the question in a different way
Yeah.
to get those pain points?
Yeah. The pain points. And then the second thing, like moving into closing, would definitely be just the pre-handling. How to actually hold someone to a higher standard so that they get over their own bullshit.
And how do you actually do that?
The way you do that is you have to figure out what's been holding them back in the past. Because the reason someone's on the call is because they haven't been able to solve the problem themselves.
Yeah, I'd say that's one of the most important parts of the process.
Yeah.
Is why they're not where they want to be right now. Because
Exactly.
oftentimes, if you boil it down, it's nothing external. It's most of the time internal.
Yeah.
It's urgency, they didn't put in the work, whatever it is. And then once you can attack that, then it makes the job so much easier past that point.
Yeah. And like, I think the big reframe for me that helped a lot with doing that is just, who does it actually benefit? Like, when you help a prospect get over their own bullshit, who does it benefit? Does it benefit you, or does it benefit them? It benefits them way more than it benefits you as a sales rep.
Yeah. And that's where your intent comes in.
Yeah.
Because it's genuinely for the best purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Cool, bro. Well, I mean, to kind of wrap up, like, what would your advice be to someone that's maybe new to the space, they're getting into it, they don't know how to navigate it, maybe they're working a job they don't like? What would you say to those guys?
If you're like in a position where you know you want something more for yourself, like, you have to realize that change is something that's only that you're responsible for. You have to be the person that makes it happen. And for a lot of people, for myself especially, it's finding ways to put myself in a position where I have to change through commitment with finances, through accountability with community, and with direction, guidance from someone like a mentor.
Cool, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. Been a
Appreciate it,
pleasure. Many more months to come.
That's it.
Cool.